It's my wedding. That's me. And that's my gorgeous wife. And that's my cousin, my best man in fact, in the middle of his speech dishing out all the dirt on me.
And obviously I was sitting in the back and I could hear exactly what was happening. We all shared the same mic.
Everyone makes mistakes in life. Kids, adults, and teenagers. Only teenagers tend to fill the embarrassment quota a little more than others, and the result of my particular mistake and embarrassment concludes right here at my wedding, courtesy of my best man, as only best men can do. Let's go back a few years. My story begins when I was 15. No, not that young. Forward a few years. Back it up a little now. Okay, seriously, who's controlling this thing? Nobody wants to see these pictures. 15 years old, I said. Okay, forget it. Where was I now? So I was 15 and I was at home on my own while my parents were at work. School holidays and stuff. And I was bored. So I started looking around for things to keep me busy and end up in my parents' room, digging around, as you do, looking for something interesting. And then I find it. A little book cabinet which is always locked. And I wonder, what's in there? So I start looking for the keys. I'm finding keys and trying them, and eventually I find a very sort of generic looking key. And I try it, success, I'm in. I couldn't believe what I found. I thought to myself, I need to tell my mate. So I go grab the phone and I ring up my cousin. So the phone's ringing and my aunt answers. And I ask if I can speak to my cousin. And she puts him on the phone. And I say, you won't believe what I just found. So he says, what? What did you find? And I tell him, I found porn. What I was expecting was similar excitement on his part. Instead he says, oh, okay. So I say, didn't you hear me? I said, I found porn. He then replies to me, I gotta go, cheers. And he puts the phone down. So this has got me confused as hell right now. I found porn, damn it. Why isn't he as excited as I am? Then the panic sets in. My mind starts racing. Why? Why wasn't he excited? Why? I found porn, but he's not excited about it. Bearing in mind that in 1995-96, porn was generally available on good old-fashioned videotape, not readily available on the internet as you find it these days. So this was a big discovery, because this isn't something you find every day. So I'm thinking, why? And then it hits me. The panic levels go up 10 times higher, and now I'm stressing. Right, I need to ring him back, but I should wait. So I wait, and hours go by, and later that afternoon, I pick up the phone and I ring him back. And before I can say anything, he says, geez, man, I was on the car phone when you phoned. You know, my mom's Merc with the phone system in it. And it's at this point that I just wanted to curl up and die, because I know for sure that my aunt heard every single word of my conversation. So she knows I found porn at home belonging to my parents. So I asked my cousin then, what did your mom say? And he tells me, well, she wants to talk to you this weekend. Now, it's the middle of the week. I have to wait days now for her to speak to me on the weekend. I don't think my nerves can handle it. That kind of stress. I can't do it. Anyway, as it turns out, she did speak to me, but she let me off with a warning, promising not to say anything to my parents. But I honestly don't think it could have been any worse than the agonizing wait I had to endure all week knowing my aunt wanted to talk to me. So the lesson here was one on the wonders of technology. Basic lesson, in fact. In-car phone systems were here, and I'm sure plenty of you have made the exact same mistake on loudspeaker type telephone systems, talking to the person on the end thinking you're only talking to them, but in actual fact there were one or two other people in the room. But my story doesn't end there, because many years later my cousin would actually become my best man at my wedding. I think you know where I'm going with this. What was once a story only known by my cousin and my aunt became a story known by 100 of my closest friends and family.
No problem. And obviously I was sitting in the back and I could hear exactly what was happening. We all shared the same mic. And he came across and obviously thought that I was holding the phone close to my ear, which nobody else could hear. And in this very sort of excited voice, he came, I found porn.
Thanks again for watching, and I'll spot you in the long grass.
Another day, another C3 tournament entry. Let's just see what Serial Assassin has in store for me today, shall we? A story where you had to learn the lesson the hard way. Oh, God, Serial. You're killing me here. It's like you want to learn my entire life or something.
Yes, I am all powerful. Bow down before the mighty Serial Assassin.
What the heck can I talk about here? I guess I could talk about that one time where I ate one too many Taco Bell tacos just because I was challenged to do it, and it ended in explosive diarrhea. Oh, God.
Blame the Swans.
Hey, nobody said the story had to be real.
Nice backpedal, Brian.
Well, what about that time that the almighty Empress Rita Repulsa ordered me to get rid of those pesky Power Rangers, but then it turns out I was just under an evil spell all along. Damn it, Dragon Zord! No, but seriously, don't ever eat these many tacos at once. I'm not gonna finish them. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go give Serial Assassin my social security number, my address, and my date of birth. I'll be right back. I think I'll know where I put the rest of these. Hey, where you going? Commentary's not over yet. But I seriously hope you enjoyed that hilarious intro / mini story I put together at the beginning of this video. And by the way, I wasn't kidding at all. If you don't end up essentially getting explosive diarrhea, you'll probably end up getting very smelly gas. And you'll end up choking to death, as I'm doing right here. But farty poop fart jokes aside, I do have a bit of a story to tell you guys. And it is a life story where I did learn a lesson. However, I have touched on and talked about this story before on my channel previously, and because of a recent event that happened, I felt it very appropriate to talk about this subject once again. YouTube networks. Don't be so quick to sign that contract, because they could screw you over, and screw you hard, just like they did to me. Now, some of you, before I even finish the sentence, might be thinking to yourselves, well, aren't you making money? Isn't that what the point of YouTube networks are? Isn't that like the greatest thing in the world? Well, yes and no. I've been on YouTube since around 2006. And that's long enough to remember that YouTube partnerships used to be extremely hard to get. That is, of course, until YouTube networks came around and became almost as easy as clicking a button to become partnered on YouTube. Now, I've had a lot of channels since 2006, and that accumulates to a lot of views. So what do a lot of views mean? It means that I was one of the original YouTube partners. Now, of course, I wasn't doing gaming content back then, and it was pretty difficult to monetize gaming content even if you did have it. And I know what you're thinking, but no, I was not one of those people that had a partnership based on just AdSense like they do now where everybody can have it. But I might as well have been, because even though I was invited into the original partnership program by Google themselves, unfortunately, it came around a time where they were about to implement the AdSense for everyone kind of partnership. So after they did that, all of us slowly started to lose our benefits of being able to talk to Google directly and YouTube themselves through YouTube support. Which meant that if I ever had any type of problem with my channel, I was unable to talk to Google directly about it. So eventually came a time where I was no longer into doing vlog style videos or comedy style videos, and I dropped my regular partnership. A little while later, of course, I started a new channel and started uploading gaming content. And eventually, I was approached by a network. I started researching networks thinking, well, it might be the same damn thing as Google AdSense. So at first I turned it down, but then they kept in contact with me, and I started noticing the trend of how every email back and forth was like in a timely manner and less than a day apart. I saw this to be an advantage, so I signed the contract. Big mistake. Because as soon as I actually started having trouble with my channel and trouble with my payments, I was never getting any answers, and I was never getting answered in a timely manner anymore. I was pretty much getting ignored with no way out whatsoever. Later, of course, I learned that the quote-unquote requirements that they had for somebody to join their network were not really in place. How did I learn this? I took a tip from a friend of mine, and I created a new channel, put no videos on it whatsoever, and 2 weeks later, what do you know, I apply, and here comes a contract. That contract has since been broken since I only signed it for 1 year. But they screwed me over enough to where I almost entirely lost motivation to make any videos whatsoever. But hey, here I am once again with a brand new channel, and I'm motivated to do stuff once again. Shoot, maybe I would have 1 million subscribers by now if I didn't keep switching between channels and channels and channels, but hey, I am what I am. And what about that shady ass network that doesn't support you at all? Well, I wish Disney good luck with their $500 million endeavor. Now, not all networks can be as shady, but that's just Blue Manic's little old life lesson, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed this gameplay commentary. Don't forget to vote for the one you like the most. And if you'll excuse me, I have some tacos to leave on a friend of mine's table. I'll be right back.
Thanks for the tacos. Tastes like justice.